This tutorial will show you how to add pages and edit individual pages in Google Sites. So to add a page, make sure you're signed in to your account. You can tell by your username up here. And then you click this button right here, which says Create a Page. When you click that button, it brings you to this page. You're going to name the web page. We will call it Page 1. You can change the URL if you want. You're never going to want to do that though. Now, this is important. Select a template to use. Web page is what the default is, and that's a regular web page. But there's some other really cool options here. If you do an announcements page, that's basically like a blog. A file cabinet is a page where you can store things just like a file cabinet. You can add attachments and so on and so forth. A list page is an editable list that collaborators can also edit. It almost looks in a way like a spreadsheet. And a start page would be an individual homepage that students will see their own version of. They can edit their own version of whenever they go to your website. So we're going to leave it as a web page. Putting the page at the top level means in the hierarchy, it's a main page, as opposed to putting it under another page, like putting it under the home page. So we're going to put it at the top level. And you can also choose other locations. Right now, there's nothing to choose from in this website because we only have one page. So we're going to put it at the top level. We're going to make it a web page. We're going to press Create. It automatically takes you to editing mode. You know that you're in editing mode when you see the blue Save button up here and the Cancel button next to it. So we're not going to edit anything. Well, actually, we will. We will write, here is the first page. Press Save. And there we have it. Here's page 1, and here's our home page. Now going back to page 1, let's look at some more page settings. First of all, there's an option to add files and an option to allow comments on the page. I usually like to get rid of those two options because there's no need to add files when we could insert files with our Google Drive, and there's no need to have comments on a page unless it's a collaborative web page. So if you click More Actions and Page Actions, underneath Page Actions, it's Page Settings. We're going to show page title, check. Show links to subpages, check. Those are going to be on the bottom of each page. Show attachments, allow attachments, uncheck it. Allow comments, uncheck that. And we're going to save it. It looks much more clean this way, in my opinion. Now, the other things we can do, I'd like to show you. Go back to page settings. Remember how we said there's different types of web pages? We can change that right from page settings. Right now it's a web page. Let me show you what a announcement page looks like. Remember, this is like a blog. Press change. And this is great to have students blog to create a more positive digital profile and digital footprint. I have my students blog. I started doing that last year, and they love blogging. It doesn't matter what subject it is. If they can blog once a week or once every 2 weeks and make it public, it's really good for them to do. So this is the announcements page. If you put new post, what happens is it actually creates a new web page. Blog post 1, we'll call it. Here is my first blog. Okay, and basically you press save. And now if you look on the left-hand column, let's back up a second. We have our home page and we have our page 1. But our page 1 is actually a blog. And this is the main blog page. And underneath the button that says new post, each blog in chronological order, reverse chronological order, will be listed. Okay, and if you actually click the actual blog, it brings you to a separate page, which is under page 1. So this is what we mean by putting pages under other pages. Blog post 1 is under the main blog page. And this sidebar menu navigator is always going to show the main pages and one subpage level underneath it. And if you click this drop-down arrow, you can hide it. You can hide the subpages. Okay. So we're going to go back to the main blog page. We're actually going to rename it. Press Edit. Here's the Edit button. This is how you edit pages. And we're going to rename it Main Blog Page. And we're going to save it. Okay. And now we're going to create another page. We're going to create another page called Page 2. We're going to make that a regular web page. We're going to put it at the top level. Press Create. Here is Page 2. Okay. We're going to get rid of, under Page Settings, get rid of Comments and Attachments. And now we're going to add one more page under Page 2. I'll show you how to do that. We're going to call this Page 2A. Page 2A. And we're going to put it under Page 2. So now you can see how to create pages and how they look on the left hand. Here is a sub page of Page 2. And that's how they look under the main page on the left-hand navigation panel. Okay, so that's how to make pages and subpages. Lastly, for Page 2A, which is what we're looking at right now, I'm going to get rid of the comments and attachments. And I'm going to show you what a file cabinet looks like. Go to Page Settings. Right now it's a regular web page. We're going to change the template into a file cabinet. And if you check this button, it'll take all the content that's already on the web page and put it into the new template. But we don't have to check it because there's no content on the page right now anyway. Okay. And I'm going to get rid of the comments. Show column headers. Collapse folders by default. Okay, so this is a file cabinet page. You can add files right to it, add links, add stuff from Google Drive. You can organize it, delete it, or subscribe to changes. So we're going to add a file. Let's call it we'll add this file. Okay, and as you add files, it just creates a list for you. So it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a file cabinet. You can move them around. We'll add something from our Google Drive just to show you one more thing. Okay. And now we have two things. You can move them around. Okay. Delete them, and so on and so forth. I never use this, but it is helpful if you want a repository for students to go to, or even for your coworkers to go to. So this is creating pages, different types of pages, and page settings.